the Clock fans? You're listening to another episode with your hosts Raul Lascano and George Martinez as they square off and tackle all of today's hot topics in sports news, trends, current issues happening locally and nationally, as well as highlighting some of our local student athletes across the Sunshine State. Now, welcome your hosts, Raul Lascano and George Martinez. You're on the clock.
What's going on the Clock fans? How are you doing? It is January 11th. It's this beautiful Monday. We've had a wild weekend of football.
Crazy.
I mean, upsets, drama, all kinds of stuff going on. Not only just at the NFL level. There was a little bit of youth level, which I'm going to get into a little bit. But something on the agenda for today, man. We're going to go through wild card recap. Everything that went on, everything that's going to go happen. We have big news. Deshaun Watson wanted to be traded. We have to get into that because it affects my Miami Dolphins, and I got to talk about it. Not to mention, biggest game is coming on tonight. Ohio State versus Alabama. Our previews, predictions, things that might come in out of it. And George, it's time for On the Clock. Are you ready, my guy?
I'm ready for it. Let's do it, man. Let's go.
I'm ready to go. So don't go anywhere. Stick around. You are on the clock with your guys, Raul Lascano and George Martinez. And don't forget, if you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button, subscribe, comment, man. Do what you got to do. George, how was your weekend, man? How are you doing, sir?
Weekend was great. Again, it's always a great weekend when the Bucs win. And It means even more when it happened in the playoffs. We're going to get down to the breakdown of that game in a little bit, but it was a great weekend because the Bucs won.
Yeah.
It was a great weekend because I know you had a great weekend. Whenever my best friend, whenever my buddy has a great weekend, I have a great weekend as well. So how is your weekend? I see your hands a little heavy. Your hands a little heavy.
It's heavy, and I've been lifting a lot of weights, and I just want to I'm prepared to carry this weight if I can say it like that. Man, look, I had a fantastic weekend. When I tell you, every year I do the Elite All-American All-Star Game, and it's a beautiful thing. It's put on. I usually don't participate in that many weekend stuff, but there you got the picture.
There it is.
I love that. That's a beautiful surprise, man. Look, man, if you're looking at home, which I know the viewers on the podcast can't hear it, but if you're looking for an All-Star game around here in the Tampa Bay area or surrounding areas that are Tampa, Haines City type, whatever, Orlando, you got to try the Elite All-American one, man. My guy Richie puts on a very good All-American game. Been doing it for 3 years, and we, the coaching staff, have been together since 2019. We've won 3 in a row. We've won 3 in a row. We have been able to
3 in a row. So what? You guys started at what? 8U?
We started at 8, won 8, won 9, and just yesterday we won the 10U level at the All-American. And let me tell you something. There were some, amazing, talented kids all across the freaking state. And there was people that came from New Jersey, bro, Texas. They came all the way out of there to play that game. But we ended up winning, and, a little championship ring.
Hey, look at that. Look at that.
Heavy jewelry this podcast. So I decided to wear it the whole time.
Yeah, you're being humble because you're not wearing all of them.
Yeah.
You're just wearing the most recent one. Because if you put the 3 plus you got like your whole hands get full. I got rings. You got toes that come into play. I mean, it's a lot of rings.
I'm a humble guy when I can be. I can be a jerk sometimes, but I'm going to be humble on Monday. But we end up winning. And the guys that we've been together, shout out to Tay, Lewis, Grizz, Courtney. They're the ones that got me involved in it. Speedy. We also had coaches, Anthony and yourself. Listen, man, these things are fun because it challenges your coaching ability. Like you get to find out what kind of coach you are. Because you only get 2 days, 2 hours of practice. That's it.
That's a lot. And these kids play in different teams. So it's not like you're bringing a squad that already knows each other. I mean, I think that's what is being captured. These kids all play at 4, 5, 6, 7 different organizations. I think I counted at one point.
Right. At one point, you didn't even get done counting. Yeah, it's a lot of them, man, but they participate. The parents are freaking awesome. We've had awesome parents the last 3 years. And I think it's more, not because of coaching. I think it's more because everything's very well put together. You're going to have these small hiccups every once in a while, but uniforms are on time. Let me tell you what the kids got freaking hoodies, like a hoodie sweater, matching sweatpants, not only a t-shirt and shorts, so when it gets hot, they can wear that again. Then they get to keep the uniforms. Okay, they get to keep the
Oh
jersey and the
wow.
pants. You keep all that stuff, and then you got bag accessories and gloves, and he got the sleeve game. You know how the kids love that drip.
Oh yeah.
He's got everything, and they keep it. And I'm telling you what, man, it's then you win a little ring here. But it was a great weekend for All-Star Weekend. And then in youth football, which let me pump the brakes here, George. When's the last time you coached youth football?
Besides the couple of days I was out there with you, just recently it's been 2016, 2017. I'd say it was probably the
So
last time
you're
I
going on 5 years right now.
pretty much, yeah.
Okay. Now, and I want to be fair. I want to be fair when I do this, okay? Before then, how long was it from 2016 back? You were coaching what, 12 years, 13 years?
Yeah, about 13 years in a
Something
row.
like that, right? 12, yeah, it's a long time. So, George, what is the wildest thing you ever seen? If you could pick a memory, and I hate to put you on the spot like that, but if you could pick a memory.
The craziest thing I ever saw was it was after one of our games. We were playing against another team. It was highly competitive. It was probably a game that we shouldn't have won.
Mhm.
We ended up winning that game.
Right.
And I remember looking to the stands and I saw two parents on the same team fighting each other.
Yeah. Okay.
It wasn't one of our parents. That was one. The other one was we're in our playoff game in the spring.
Right.
And a coach literally pulled his team at halftime and quit in the playoffs.
I've had that happen too. I've had that happen.
Playoffs.
I've had it happen to me twice by the same team.
Yeah.
In the same year. But yeah, I got you.
Those have been the two, I'd say, craziest scenarios. Besides seeing a ton of people at Super Bowl game that we played in, there was a ton of people there, all over the fence, in the stands. I mean, it was a jam-packed house there, Skyway. How about you?
Okay. So the one thing that never changes is the adults who argue amongst each other and they think their kids going to the NFL.
Of course.
And if my opinion it means anything, I honestly think when they started ranking youth players is when the freaking whole game went. It changed everything. These guys. I understand. And I think it's good for the kids. But let's keep the message like that. When you start saying top 5 in the nation, and the nation, like how many youth programs are in the nation? Don't be a dick. But anyway, okay. This is what I saw this weekend. I saw a mom come down from the stands during this All-Star game.
Okay.
Come down from the stands. Because the field, the stands that we have, there's smaller bleachers. There was actual stands on the other side. So like you see in a high school.
Okay.
Almost.
Yeah.
We scored a touchdown, which, by the way, shout out to Daniel Terry, an amazing quarterback in 10U level. If anybody listens to this podcast in 10 years,
they'll go back and say, we said it there first.
This kid's going to play in the NFL. Anyway, he just did a beautiful roll to the left, and he scored a touchdown. He threw a touchdown pass. It was beautiful. So while we're trying to set up for the extra point, all you can hear is commotion in the background. And literally, I see a lady spray another lady in the face with mace. With mace.
In the face. With mace. So hold on. So this lady, because you guys are on separate sidelines.
We're separate.
So this lady legit walked across the field.
Well,
or I guess through the back of the goalpost.
Right.
To the other side, located this parent. She must have known who this person is.
Absolutely.
I mean, you can't just walk up and mace someone. There's a ton of parents sitting there.
Well, you can't pick the right one either, but that happened, right? So this lady, yeah, they both know each other because their kids are both on the same team, but they hate each other.
Oh,
so what
was one play for y'all, one play for them.
Right. During one of the plays, a little scuffle happened between the two kids. And it was a scuffle like throwing blows, just hard blocking, pushing, shoving.
Just gamemanship.
I guess she must have thought that, a hit order was put on that. And again, the coaches,
a bounty was put on him.
I have no idea who these kids are. I'm just coaching football. I'm trying to learn their names within 2 days. Some of them leave there with me never knowing their names. I just give them really good nicknames.
And that's it.
Right? And I remember their nickname for the rest of their life. But then, bro, to see a lady spray mace in another person's face lets me know that youth football is dying
Quickly.
Oh my God.
Quickly.
To keep piling that on, my 11U football team, we beat, a very well-respected team that was undefeated.
A rival.
It was a good game, good battle. But the other team just got out-coached. That's what the bottom line was. They got out-coached, and we played harder. We wanted to win it. Not a problem. But Jesus, their own team and are fighting each other. They're not even fighting that our fans. They're fighting
each other. Yeah, that's.
And listen to me. I saw a 6U parent group get into a fight in the stands amongst each other. And
6 years and under is the age group.
6 years old. This kid couldn't tell you.
What day was?
Can't give me time on a clock if I pointed to it. They couldn't give me the times or what time it is. Anyway, the same team, same parents on the same team fight each other. I'm thinking to myself, and not only just fight each other, not only just, fighting just can't happen. 10 police squad cars.
10?
It was like 10 to 12 police squad cars. City of Tampa and also Hillsborough. They came to the field. And the games got delayed to like 45 minutes, I want to say. So pushed everything back. Then on 14U, you got a 14U kid running down on kickoff because they're already losing. It was 28-0 in the first quarter. Sounds familiar about certain Brown Steelers, but it's 28-0 in football. This kid runs down the freaking field, George, and literally legit punches a kid in the back of the head. The kid has a helmet on, so clearly this one isn't too bright. But he punches the kid in the back of the head. They let another scuffle happen. 2 scuffles happen. And between cheerleaders and other, it was just mayhem. So youth football.
This is youth football in the playoffs.
Oh, my God.
In Tampa, Florida. If you guys want to see a good show, grab some popcorn.
Oh, my God.
Come visit your local youth football league on a Saturday afternoon. And
Skyway Field on a playoff weekend. I swear to you, you're going to see the most of it. The only thing I've seen somebody get tased before at an actual NFL football game.
That's an NFL football game, not a youth.
Not a youth game. It literally almost happened yesterday. like you got to be kidding me. These parents, it just toppled onto the other wild card. That was my weekend. Was just trying to survive and not fight anybody and not get tased or maced.
Well, the good thing about your weekend is at least you went 2-0 in real life.
In real life.
Because as we look back at your pick'ems, we're going to do a little pick'em recap here.
Not too good.
Because the games have now ended. It's Monday morning. I'm drinking my coffee.
Yeah.
And as I look at the board, I know before the show we were talking about, okay, let's do the pick'em, let's recap, let's talk about it. You kept saying, I don't think we did them. I actually
didn't remember the last podcast. I don't know, because usually I write them down, and I didn't write them down for this reason. I don't know why.
When you picked that bad, I don't understand why you have a short-term memory.
Picked worse before.
You have picked worse before. So, again, we're not going to spend too much time on this because we got a couple pick'ems coming up here as we talk about the national championship game. But you went 2-4.
Yep.
I went 3-3. So I'm up by 1. Nothing crazy for this week. What are your thoughts of anything that was shocking to you? Because, I mean, again, as we go into the recap of the weekend, there was a lot of drama.
There was a lot of shit going on this weekend. The one game that besides last night's game between the Browns and the Steelers, the one game that jumped at me that I think is going to affect, I wonder how going forward, was the Bills-Colts game. Watching that game.
27-24?
Yeah.
Phillips had a chance there at the end.
Yeah, and he kind of shit the bed a little bit.
He did, but back to your point, did the Colts put a blueprint out there on how to potentially slow down that offense and how to score against that defense?
They really did. They They put on a pretty good clinic, and I don't know if it's because Buffalo's been off. I don't know. The players. I don't know what it was, but the Colts definitely left something out there for the rest of the AFC to look at and be like, oh, we could probably get these guys. We could probably get these guys.
We're going to start with the game that just ended last night.
Yeah, because
it's the freshest game. It's
amazing to watch.
The Cleveland Browns, and I'm going to say this again. The Cleveland Browns not only made the playoffs, but they have also now won a playoff game.
Yes.
Now, I want to bring you back to like 4 or 5 podcasts ago. I said over and over and over again, the Steelers are overrated.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked if they lost in the first round.
Yep.
Here we are. They've lost in the first round.
They have.
There was a picture that was shown at the end of the game last night when I was watching it of Roethlisberger sitting on the bench by himself. Does he retire? Is his career over?
I think he needs more weapons. Claypool is
more weapons. You got Deontay Johnson. You got Claypool. You got Juju.
They got no running game though. They got zero factor of a running game. You can rush 4 and you'll be just fine and just sit back and wait for Roethlisberger. Which, by the way, what did he end with yards? It was like close to 500, right? 500 something.
It was over 500 yards passing.
Jesus. To pass 500 yards and still lose by like 11 is ridiculous.
So who do you put that on? Do you put that on the offense or the defense? Because you just said they need more weapons, right? They need a running game, which I agree. But he threw for 500 yards. They scored 30-some points, but they gave up nearly 50.
Listen, man. Shout out to freaking Cleveland for jumping on the freaking Steelers 28-0 in the first quarter.
With their special teams coach and their offensive line coach calling plays.
Calling the play. So let's get this straight. Someone's out of a job in Cleveland.
Right.
And somebody just got hired.
2 people are immediately being requested for interviews.
Does the head coach come back next week? Does he come back next week?
You know what? He should, because actually, you know what? It's going to depend. It depends if the Browns play on Saturday or Sunday, because the same thing happened to Devin White of the Bucks. He got COVID. He didn't play last Sunday, right? But because of how many days, like if the game was played on Sunday for the Bucks against Washington, he would have been eligible to play. But because the game was played on Saturday, it was still within the 10-day mark. He wasn't eligible to play, so he didn't play against Washington. So I really wonder if that staff, the people that got the COVID and are out, will the NFL try to screw over the Browns by putting them on a Saturday matchup?
I hope not. But I do tell you what. If I'm Cleveland, I'm probably keeping that guy out for COVID. Tell me, you know what? Let's be sure that this is.
Let's be sure you don't have it.
Make sure you're good. Don't worry about it.
We don't want to lose anybody.
Because if they play like the way they played last night, the rest of the time, this is trouble. Because Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt are a freaking problem, man. Kareem Hunt ran hard as shit last night. I mean, he ran hard. It was hard to tackle him. Steelers missed a bunch of tackles. These guys are bouncing off 2 or 3 guys and still scoring these touchdowns. And then the best one I saw Kareem Hunt was when he trucked the freaking number 90 for the Steelers. I mean, he kept the legs driving for an extra 4 yards to get into the end zone. They were on another level, so shout out to them. But does Big Ben retire? I have no idea, man.
I think he's done. I think he's done. I think him sitting on the bench like that at the very end, didn't go to midfield or shake hands with anybody, this and the third. I think
it felt like he
was taking in the moment.
Yeah,
he was it. He was it because the camera tried to zoom in on his eyes a little bit. Yeah, I think it was more of a it's over kind of.
Do you want to go out with Baker Mayfield owning you? You know what I mean? Like if you go out, get the Ravens beat you, Lamar Jackson and Harbaugh and other. Okay, respectable respect. I'm out of here. Cleveland Browns, like 50 years ain't been in a playoff game. Finally,
no, I agree.
I don't know. I hope he does it. I think Ben's got one more in him.
Another quarterback in a team that you and I were both very high on that kind of shit the bed was the Rams and the Seattle Seahawks. Man. Right? Seattle won the division. Again, both of these games were teams that were playing for the 3rd time this season.
Yes.
right? You had the Browns playing the Steelers for the third time. You had the Rams playing Seattle for the third time. Seattle won the division. Jared Goff didn't even start the game.
No, Wolford, who got injured that game,
Who got hit by Jamal Adams
yeah,
with the shoulder, ended up going to the hospital.
yeah.
He's been cleared. He's okay. We'll see if he actually plays this week or not. Goff came in, played, but didn't play very well. You talked about Goff doesn't really do anything, but
He worries me. Yeah,
Seattle's offense got off to a phenomenal start in the year. We're talking about Russell Wilson was going to be MVP candidate. They were throwing for 300 yards a game, 4 or 5 touchdowns. The last 5 weeks of the season, it just disappeared.
yeah.
Russell Wilson threw for 170 yards, 1 touchdown or 2 touchdowns and an interception.
Right.
DK Metcalf was pretty much in check the whole game. I don't even know if Tyler Lockett plays anymore because I don't remember seeing him.
Yeah, and DK Metcalf that's the first time I've seen him explode on the sideline. I don't know if you saw
He
it.
was frustrated. Yeah, I did see that.
And he wants the ball, and then they try to throw him a screen, and there's a pick six. That Russell threw. So, you got to check your emotions. You got to win the game. But it's really hard to beat teams 3 times.
It is.
It's hard to beat teams 3 times. You might win that split. You might win 2 games. It might be 1-1, but it's hard to play 3 times. You definitely know your opponent.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And now the Rams did the Bucs a favor because now the Rams get to go on to Green Bay.
Yeah.
And we get to go to New Orleans. I'd rather be playing in the dome than playing in the cold. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, that was beautifully unplanned for your Bucks, not having to play in Lambeau Field. Let me ask you this though: on top of the wild card drama, do you think Bucks beat Saints, or you want to wait for that prediction?
We're gonna wait till Fridays. We're gonna wait till Thursday's show.
A lot of drama that went on this weekend, man.
A lot.
There was a whole bunch of stuff. So I don't know what the Rams are gonna do. I think Green Bay kicks the shit out of them. At least I hope so. Nobody wants to go there. Another great game, you just pulled it up here, is the Ravens and the Titans, man. That was a good game.
Jackson finally gets his first playoff win.
And he finally completed passes.
Yeah.
Like, you played the game like you're supposed to. And the Titans, for whatever reason, Derrick Henry didn't look Derrick Henry-ish.
Derrick Henry ran for 2 yards a carry.
Yeah. Yeah, the Ravens came to play and slow him down. But again, it's like we've been talking about. Once you load the box, what do you have to worry about? When you're
force Tannehill to beat you.
Yeah, force his glorified backup quarterback to freaking beat you, because that's what Tannehill is. He should be just a backup quarterback.
Now, did you see at the end of the game here? So Tannehill has the ball, the Colts have the ball, or my apologies, the Titans have the ball, they're driving, and they throw an interception. Marcus Peters picks it off, does the little 20-yard run, falls down. The entire team, or most of the team, I'm going to say 2/3 of the team for the Ravens, stormed the field onto the logo. Now, this game's being played in Tennessee. They're stopping the logo. They're making a mockery. They're waving by to Tennessee. Now, this is in retaliation.
Yeah.
What happened the last time these teams played in Baltimore? When these teams played in Baltimore pregame, the same thing that Juju Smith-Schuster got in trouble for. Not in trouble for, just what he gets whacked for in a daily game. He becomes a target for people.
Right.
Tennessee was out there in midfield doing their stop and kick, this and the other on the Ravens logo. And that's when Harbaugh went out there. And we talked about it on our podcast because none of his players went out there with him. Harbaugh went out there on his own, right? Yell at Mark Vrabel, yell at some of the players over there. Now the Ravens get retaliation. Did you see anything wrong with that? What are your thoughts on that game?
So the game went well. If you're talking about the interception that they ran to midfield, I mean, what do you? Because usually now when you get an interception, you run down to the freaking screen, get your picture taken in front of the screen now. So running now, George, you know my coaching style.
Oh yeah,
I'm a University of Miami. You know what I'm saying? A believer. I'm a Miami. I'm a U guy. I'm a Miami guy. I don't see nothing wrong with that type of swag.
Me either.
Coming down there and waving bye-bye to the Titans on a pick that they knew that was crucial.
You take the penalty, whatever.
I'm gonna take.
Whatever.
I'm gonna kicking your ass all day anyway.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man. The only thing I didn't like, and maybe I'm wrong, was the end of the game, where a lot of the players, when Ravens took the knee, Lamar Jackson hauled ass out of there with a lot of the players without even shaking any of their hands. I'm not asking him to be a superstar, or even love the Titans, but there's a lot of people that look up to you.
There is, and
A lot of people follow you. Shake, tap the hands, and go. And I know, they have every reason not to. But someone's gonna be the bigger man.
I agree with that. However,
Yeah.
Tennessee just lost his game.
Yes.
There's no tomorrow for Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
What is stopping the 52nd guy on the roster who doesn't care from walking to midfield, find Lamar Jackson, sucker punch him in the face because, to represent Tennessee because they're salty because of the showboat and this, that, and the other. And now you lose Lamar Jackson next week. For me, because of the animosity between the two teams, I had no problem watching. If anything, if that was the Bucks, and I see Tom Brady hauling ass off the field, I'm like, yeah, get to the locker room, close the door, lock it, don't let nobody in.
Yeah, I guess so, man. I don't see anybody punching him in the face, but I just think
you don't want altercation to happen there because we saw it in college football, right? In the I forget the Tulsa, yeah. We saw it in there right at the very end of the game. Teams don't like each other. It takes one guy because then the entire team gets involved. And the last thing you need if you're the Ravens is to get someone suspended or hurt or COVID.
Oh, bro, I hear what you're saying, but they could get fined. They can go to jail, whatever the crap, if you punch them in the face. I still think
I'm not losing my quarterback. I'm not losing anybody.
They're not going to lose. Nobody. The only person that gets punched in the face after a game is Sherman.
It's the lineman.
Oh, it's when Washington was playing
Richard Sherman.
Richard Sherman, he got punched in the face by the offensive lineman in the face. That's the only guy that gets punched in the face.
Or Crabtree.
And Crabtree. You know what I mean? Like those type of guys. I don't see anybody trying to punch Lamar Jackson, but I hear what you're saying to be safe. I get it.
Yeah.
I totally understand it. But that's the only issue I kind of had at the end of the day because at the end of the day, if the rest of the team goes, Lamar Jackson has to shake the hands with the quarterback and the coach because it's just, like I said.
It's professionalism. No, I get you. It's a business. You do the right thing.
Yeah.
I disagree. I don't want my quarterback out there at all. And we saw the Bills.
Yes, man.
Now, I know we talked about it a little bit before.
Yeah.
Josh Allen, again, so as crazy as 2020 was, right? we showed that in the previous podcast, all the different things. We had a quarterback. We had a receiver start a game at quarterback. We had Brady switch teams and make the playoffs, not Belichick. All these, a team with no name made the playoffs. As we go into 2021, it's almost like we are in round 2. We saw the stuff that happened in Capitol Hill. You alluded to that earlier in the show. The Browns win a playoff game. And here you have the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
Who have not won a playoff game in forever. 1990s was the last time they won a playoff game.
Jim Kelly days, yeah.
They win a playoff game in a very dramatic fashion. It was a 27-24 football game, and Phil Rivers had a chance at the end.
He did, man, to win it.
So, did the Colts create a potential blueprint on how to slow down this 13-3 juggernaut of an offense that the Bills are?
Absolutely, man. And we touched on it before. They knew exactly. It's just they studied well because in football, you can have a great team, man, but styles makes fights is what they say, right? You get a good matchup, anybody's going to win on any given Sunday or Saturday. It doesn't matter. You just got to want to get it done. You know what I mean? It comes out that. But the Colts showed what needs to be done. And teams that execute a little bit better are going to take that blueprint and be like, okay, if we're playing them, this is what we're doing. This is how they slowed them down when they did this play. This is how they slowed them down on that play. Boom, 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 boom. And they're going to check all the boxes because the Colts did lay it out there. I think it's going to take a veteran quarterback to beat the Bills. A good season because Rivers is on the tail end of it, but I don't know, man. I don't think Phil. You think after a game like that where he barely, I mean, he squeaked by, but he put him on the ropes. You think they keep Rivers?
I know we talked about it earlier about Rivers potentially retiring.
Yeah.
Also, because he has been reached out to and contacted about going to the broadcast booth. They see him as the next Tony Romo.
He'd be exciting too because
He would be. He would be
Rivers.
pretty funny.
I'm pretty sure Rivers suffered several
Oh
concussions.
yeah,
Because
he's
this guy's
not okay. He's cuckoo. He's definitely cuckoo in la cabeza.
He's gonna be the first commentator to cuss on the slip cuss. Like he's gonna cuss. Look at this fucking guy with the damn ball running and shit. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
What an asshole. That's what he's gonna do.
He would be the first guy to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're gonna find out because you get Lamar Jackson's going to Buffalo.
Yeah, man.
And now you get Baker going to see Mahomes and get a date with that offense and that team.
Yeah, deal with all that trouble.
I don't know if Lamar's defense matches up as well as the Colts. I mean, the Colts were one of the top 5 defenses in the league.
Yeah.
The Ravens have a good defense themselves. They've always been known for that. I mean, that's who they are.
Right.
But I don't know if they have enough. I mean, I will tell you this. When he was in Minnesota, Stephon Diggs, I thought he was a drama queen. You know, he was your typical diva type of receiver that really wasn't going to live up to the hype.
Right.
Because he had Thielen in Minnesota, right? So you always wonder, like we talk about Juju Smith, right? He had Antonio Brown there, took coverage off of him. He played well. Antonio Brown's not there anymore. Juju kind of struggled to be that guy.
Yeah.
So you wondered, Stephon Diggs going to Buffalo, he was going to be the guy. How would he do against defenses? And that dude has done nothing but ball out the entire year. I mean, he's never covered. No matter what the coverage is, the guy just finds a way to get open.
It's like Shadow Cinco used to say, there's only 3 things that you could be sure on. Taxes, and I'm always open. You know what I mean?
That's it. I mean, Stephon Diggs is probably doing the Chad Ochocinco calling his coaches at 3:00 in the morning to remind him that he's always open. Like Chad Johnson used to do.
Yeah, that was hilarious. Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see it, going into it. The one thing I want to get your take on is on this guy right here.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
What an amazing story. You got to tell the listeners about the story about Heineke, right? Is that his name?
Yeah. So it's like Heineken, the beer, but not as drastic. So this guy a month ago is studying for a final exam in college. He's going for his master's. He's studying. He hasn't played football in a while. It's a call from the Washington football team saying, "Hey, we want you to come in and try out." So he comes in and tries out. The last thing he's known for is he played in the XFL. And after the game's over, the team he played on won the game. He was a backup, by the way, in the XFL.
Really?
And he has seen, I wish I had the video to play this for you. He is seen opening 2 beers and just opening his mouth and squishing the bottle cans into his mouth and chugging both beers at the same time.
The quarterback is.
This is a quarterback. This is the quarterback.
Yeah.
So he comes on with Washington. He obviously does well enough to earn himself a rest of the year contract. It gave them, as Washington football team, the confidence to release Dwayne Haskins.
Yes.
After his strip club incident and him not playing well, they said, you know what? This other guy's pretty good. So it's one of those stories, right? We heard the story about the receiver that is playing for the Browns that was homeless, that sat out there forever and just came out day in and day out. They finally invited him for a tryout. And what does he do? The first kickoff return he gets, he returns it for a touchdown.
He's out of
right? He took it to the house. This is another one of those stories. This guy comes in, and again, he gave, the Washington football team something that Alex Smith didn't. Alex Smith was going to play the game, but to give credit to I don't want to give credit to, unfortunately, the Eagles last week when Alex Smith is taking a knee to end the game, one of the Eagles defenders dove at Alex Smith's shin, and his helmet hit his shin, and it re-aggravated his calf.
Yep.
That's the reason why he didn't play this week. At this point, I would have wished he would have played this week because The guy looked good. He was mobile. Again, you're playing for you. There's no tomorrow for you.
Yeah, you're either doing it or you're dying. Yeah.
That's it. That's it. But the way the team rallied around him, the question I ask for you now is, great Cinderella story. Has he earned himself the opportunity to be on a 53-man roster in the NFL?
Well, let me reverse that on you. Did you see that fucking diving touchdown run?
Yes. Yes.
Heineke can play, man.
That was a Lamar Jackson dive because when I watched Lamar Jackson do the same thing against Tennessee, I'm like, man, that's what I watched 2 nights ago.
I wonder what it would have been like if he went Alex Smith, Heineke, then Dwayne Haskins. Because Heineke looks like he just needs more reps.
It does.
That's all he looks like. And for whatever reason, the team responds to him.
They like him. They respect him.
Chase, in that picture you showed, Chase Young is showing the back of his jersey, the name on it. You know what I mean?
Right here.
There it is. He's showing, hey, this is my guy. Like,
he's my guy.
They know that they've been wanting him to play this entire time. Mm-hmm. He must have been kicking their ass in
practice.
Yeah, he must have. But I think he deserved the spot. There's a lot of guys, even if he's not the starter, I think he's earned the right to try out to be on a team. I think the Washington football team brings him back to help him. Even if Alex Smith, is fine, whatever, keep him on the team because his status just went up after Saturday's game.
Yeah, no, his stock has definitely gone up. Alex Smith is not the future for the Washington football team. He's just the middle person until that future arrives. And it could be this guy. It could very well be this guy. Our recap was going to be about winning quarterbacks, but I just felt the way this guy played, it was, as a Buck fan, it was nervous to watch.
Film on him, you don't even know that he was mobile.
Nothing. So it's one of those things where you try to adjust on the fly, and it was painful. Nerve-wracking, but we pulled out the win.
There's a saying about that when you say it's painful. We got the zipper, whatever it was. My father used to tell me don't get it caught and it won't hurt. But anyway, don't get caught in the zipper. Here's your guy though, Tom Brady. What an amazing weekend he had.
Yeah, so Tom Brady this week achieved yet another milestone in his Hall of Fame career. He has now beaten 17 different teams in the playoffs. 17. And Brady has currently more Super Bowl wins than any quarterback, than all the quarterbacks combined in the playoffs this year.
Well, that's because Tom Brady's been doing it so much longer, kicking everybody.
It's the first time he's been in the wild card.
It has been.
The guy's usually in the divisional round already.
He's looking around like, wait a minute, am I supposed to be here? Is this my flight?
I'm not used to playing this week. What's going on?
What's happening? I get a bye week. What are you guys talking about? There's 2 bye weeks in the season. This is one of them.
He only had one this year.
Imagine if he was like punching in and punching out your job. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm gonna take a little vacation time tomorrow.
I'm gonna take a week. I'll be back next week.
I'm gonna take a day. We'll be fine.
What did you think about the Bucs and the Washington football team game? What are your thoughts on the way the offense? By the way, the offense did the same thing they did a couple weeks ago. Now, they win the toss and they have stopped deferring. They're actually choosing to receive first.
Right.
To try to jumpstart their offense. Primetime game. I know you picked against them.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Primetime game. Mike Evans was questionable, even though he won 6 catches for 100 yards.
Right.
How are they going to protect him? No, he only had 2 sacks. Chase Young didn't do anything the whole game. So, what is your post-game analysis?
I was a little worried. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was just a tad bit worried there for a second. I was like, okay, let's not go backwards. But they did fine, man. They did really well. I love that throw to. I think it was Godwin coming across on a drag route. Like he threaded it in there one play. It's amazing. I want to see if you guys can keep it up, though. You know what I mean? Which you might keep it up. You guys have the Saints, who right now the Saints aren't even the Saints because they're rotating 3 quarterbacks. They got too many running backs rotating. Everybody's trying to get the ball here. I don't know, man. I just don't. talking about this game, you guys look good. You guys came in there and did what you're supposed to do.
And I agree with that. And we saw the Bucs make an adjustment.
Yeah.
So the adjustment the Bucs made was to Washington's defense is very good.
Yeah.
Okay. It's predicated on pressure. It's predicated on their front four getting to the quarterback. Gronk didn't have any catches in the game.
I'm sure
if I told you
happy as hell.
Yeah, right. If I told you we're gonna win this game and Gronk isn't gonna be a factor, you said, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Gronk was actually playing assistant to the left tackle.
Majority of the game,
it was him and Donovan Smith lined up against Chase Young. Yeah. And those two, the job that Gronk had was keep Brady clean.
Yeah.
Brady looked at Gronk and said, that guy cannot touch me. You hear what I'm saying? It's like that movie. What's that movie with the guy, the football, the H2O?
Which one?
H2O. It's a football player. He always wants to give people H2O.
The water boy.
The water boy. Yeah, it's like that. Where they're telling him, hey, he talked about your mom. and he gets all fired up and emotional about it. It's the same thing, right? They told Gronk, you gotta protect Brady.
Yeah.
He's your brother. Chase Young said, I want Brady. He threatened to hurt him.
Yeah.
And Gronk gets upset and he goes out there and dominates. But I thought the Bucs look well. I am interested to see how they do against the Saints. It is the third time we play the Saints. Yeah. We've not scored more than, I think, 8 points against the Saints. And the Saints have scored at least 30 in both occasions.
Yeah, you guys are struggling a little bit when it came to the Saints. Yeah.
So we'll leave that for Thursday's show. Sure. Finishing off our recap here of the weekend that was.
Yeah.
New Orleans. You just alluded to them here. Mm-hmm. They looked okay against the Bears. The Bears try to hang in there as much as they could. They don't have the offense to compete with New Orleans. Michael Thomas looked like Michael Thomas running slants, catching passes. What'd you think of Who That Nation?
I'm not going to sit and say they look amazing because they had some slumps. They were able to edge it out. I think you're catching the Saints right at the perfect time if you're a Buck fan, right? You guys are catching fire and they're slowly fading out and fizzling out. There's no more wood on the freaking fire.
Simmer down a little bit.
Yeah, it's got a little good heat to put a pot on. Like, that's it. It's done. So you guys are peaking at the right moment. But I don't know, man. Like those Saints I thought were going to blow out the Bears. No, well, maybe not blow out, but definitely put up a little bit more just to seal the deal, which the Bears defense all year long has really kept them in a lot of games to help them win it. You know what I mean? But Tom Brady always finds a way, man. Death, taxes, and Tom Brady's going to the Super Bowl, bro. You know what I mean? This freaking guy can't be stopped, man.
Now, we couldn't talk about the NFL weekend without mentioning some of the biggest, craziest news that has begun to circulate the circuit, and that is of a trade rumor. There are reports. So first of all, Deshaun Watson is not happy in Houston. Right?
Yeah, I want to play something for you to let you get the whole picture. You know what I'm saying? This is Mortensen talking to Adam Schefter on ESPN about the Deshaun Watson situation, which is very interesting. And I know we're getting low on time, but you got to listen to what's going on right here. So check this out and let me know what you know.
This bouncing ball there. Reports that Deshaun Watson is unhappy with the Texans are accurate after the team hired Nick Caserio as GM and did not interview Chiefs Eric Bieniemy as a head coach candidate. Sources have confirmed. Watson has a new $156 million contract, but his concerns about the franchise's insensitivity on social justice causes have been reinforced, and a source close to the quarterback says he very well could push for a trade. And get this, one scenario for a landing spot is the Miami Dolphins trading places with Tua Tagovailoa moving to the Texans. Now, you're not going to get anything but denials at this stage from both franchises, Adam, but this is an offseason puzzle we may be trying to put together.
Tua for Watson more. We'll have some things to talk about here in the coming weeks. And the other option at Deshaun Watson's disposal, in the opinion of people around the league, would be this. withholding his services from the Houston Texans. That's how angry he said to be. And again, it's only January. It's just getting started. Perhaps they can calm him down and talk to him. But that is also an option that the Texans would not want to see, where Deshaun Watson could wind up withholding his services, threatening to retire or at least not go to Houston. But this is an issue that's not going away, Sam.
So with
Wow.
all that going on, let me tell you something. Deshaun Watson is going to leave the Houston Texans.
Yes.
He's leaving.
Yes.
He's out of there. One, and we're going to recap this. One, did you hear? We did not even interview Eric Bieniemy from the Kansas City Chiefs. Did not, where everybody in the league,
Everybody and their mothers are trying to talk to this guy.
Listen, not even, you can be a fan of another football team, but when you look at the Kansas City Chiefs when they play, and this man is one of the reasons why, and you don't interview him, are you truly going for success? Because this all started when Watson told them, certain guys that they would like to interview. Now he says, you might not interview him, but he at least thought that you would, be respectful enough to try to, you might have your plan, but hear them out. They didn't even do that. Ignored him completely. And this is your first quarterback.
Ignored him there, and then when they selected the GM, he found out through social media.
Didn't even tell him.
Didn't even tell him.
Yep.
So
now, him leaving and coming down to Miami, and I don't want to jinx this. If I had a wooden table, knock on the goddamn wooden table, then knock on the mic. I tell you what, man. What is enticing about going to the Miami Dolphins? Do we have a coach that he loves?
Well, he may be a fan of Brian Flores.
He might be. Does he want to play for a black coach is what I'm trying to get to. What part of Miami says that'd be a great fit for Deshaun Watson? And I don't want to jinx it because I want to get Deshaun Watson.
Man, that's a great question. It's gonna be interesting to see this develop in the next couple of weeks because,
bro, what about
have the Houston Texans become the next New York Jets?
They're gonna have to tank it.
It sounds like it.
They're gonna take. I want to know who in the NFL said Watson for Tua. Where did this come up? You know what I'm saying? Like, why? Again, I'm not trying to jinx it. But
now, would you do that trade? Would you take Watson over Tua?
In a heartbeat.
Wow.
You know why? Yeah, and I'll tell you why. Unless, two reasons. Unless Brian Flores has talked to our GM and owner and said, we will start winning a lot of ball games here in the next 3 years. I have to groom a rookie quarterback for the next 3 to 4 years.
Yeah, he's going to take his job.
Yeah, if they have the understanding, good. If not, make the goddamn trade. You went 10-6 on a 2-quarterback system.
Right.
You get Deshaun Watson, who's definitely gonna perform.
Yeah, bona fide guy.
You know what I'm saying? Because if I'm Deshaun Watson, not only am I pissed that you're not helping with social injustice, you didn't do the interviews. I'm also pissed at the fact that you took away DeAndre Hopkins from me. I'm also upset.
But that's Bill O'Brien. That's Bill O'Brien. That's the old guy.
Right, but now you brought in a GM that he doesn't even. He literally said
he didn't even talk to him.
Didn't even like this guy. Whatever the, and maybe that's a little bit above his pay grade, picking who they want to pick. But if your franchise quarterback says, "I got a few suggestions," you think they would listen to him out of courtesy because you're our guy,
and then let him know who you're going to make the decision on before the rest of the world knows.
Right, because he's your
guy. Because he's your guy.
It's your guy. If I'm Brian Flores and this is presented to me where this can be a real thing, I'm taking Deshaun Watson because he's been in the league 4 years now. He's got experience. He's a veteran, and you're gonna think about this. You're gonna get eight years out of this guy.
No, for sure.
You can get 8 years out of him.
And Deshaun holds all the power because he also has a no trade clause in his contract, so he can go wherever he chooses to go. Because if Houston strikes a deal with, let's say, the Broncos, out of all teams, right? He doesn't want to go there. Yeah, no, I don't want to go there. I have a no trade clause. Yeah, no. Next.
Do you see what I'm saying?
So the Deshaun Watson to Miami conversation has to be a destination that Deshaun Watson would potentially be okay with. That's how you throw the bait. That's how you throw the hint out there saying, "Come get me." Right?
Yeah.
We saw Earl Thomas back in the day used to chase Jason Garrett down the locker room of the 49ers when he wanted to get out of Seattle. Right? You saw Jamal Adams cry his way out of leaving the New York Jets. He just pissed him off every day until he got rid of him on social media.
Yeah.
So this is Deshaun Watson's way. It'll be interesting to see how this develops in the next couple weeks. I'm going to go on the record today and say Deshaun Watson will not be the opening day starter for the Houston Texans in the next football season.
Of course not. Not when he's that upset. For Morton to say the concerns of him leaving is true.
It's legit.
Deshaun Watson is out of there. It's gonna be,
Now,
that's amazing, man.
Going from a national championship quarterback
Yep.
to the game of the night. We have Alabama playing against the third scout team defense in Ohio State. Because I think Alabama's defense on scout is still better than Ohio State's defense. But anyhow, 1 versus 3, 12-0 versus 7-0. Nick Saban versus Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Who wins this game?
I am going with Alabama. I'm going to go with Alabama because I'm going to tell you what. Alabama looks like you're going
A juggernaut?
Yeah.
An NFL team?
It looks like the best Alabama team I've seen
Ever.
And I'm telling you right now, and I've watched a lot of Alabama games, there's a problem everywhere. The defense is never right on what they're trying to do and what they're trying to accomplish. I like Alabama, but I think it's going to be a shootout like Alabama versus Florida.
Okay, so you're saying Ohio State is going to put points on the board?
Absolutely. And again, I could be wrong, but from what I saw last week with Fields playing, let me tell you something. They're going to put some points on the board.
Absolutely.
Like Florida did. The only thing is, hopefully you don't fumble or get hit when you get your interception or some fluke stuff. Like, I hope nothing like that happens for you.
Keep your shoes on. That's an advice from us Florida fans. Keep your shoes on.
Right. But I think I'm going with Alabama to win the national championship down in Miami. Who do you got?
There's 2 things you never do.
What's that?
One of them is you don't bet against Alabama.
Not when
the second one is you don't bet against Tom Brady.
You can
Those are 2 things you do in life. Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Alabama wins also. I'm a little different than you are, though.
Why is that?
I don't think Ohio State has a chance.
I don't
think Ohio State is going to compete in this game. I'm thinking this game is going to be a 38-20 kind of game.
You're calling for a blowout?
Yeah, I think so. Matt Jones, Devontae Smith, Najee Harris, and now you add Waddle.
It's a load. It's a load.
There's no way Ohio State can keep up with Alabama defensively. And because of that, I think it puts more pressure on Justin Fields to have to throw the ball down the field and try. He's going to go into this game feeling he has to go score for score with Alabama.
Oh, I know.
That's going to put him in a bad situation. That's where he makes his bad decisions. And that's where I think Alabama's defense can win some of those situations. The game that Justin Fields has against Trevor Lawrence and Clemson was phenomenal. I don't think he does an encore.
Right.
I don't think he does. It's going to be tough because, again, if you sit there and think about it, right? Fields against Clemson when he wasn't blitzed all day, 17 for 22, 350 yards, 1 sack.
Right.
When he was blitzed, struggled a little bit. I think Alabama's going to come after him. Alabama blitzes about 20% of the time.
Yep.
They're going to come after him. Fields in 2020, when he's pressured, all of his stats have a significant drop. 49% completion percentage, 2.5 yards per throw. His touchdown rate or interception rate goes up. His QBR goes all the way down to 7.9.
Jesus.
When he's not pressured, though, right? 81% completion rate, 10.7 yards per drop back. His interception ratio goes down to 2%, and his QBR goes up to 94. Again, I think Alabama gets on the board early, puts pressure on Fields to have to go score for score. They come after him, play man coverage, make him read the field and make throws and find the guy.
You think he's still hurt?
Yes.
Yeah,
I don't think he's fully recovered. So I think that hurts his mobility. Yeah. Now his getting outside the pocket, extending plays, those things are not going to be as easy for him as they were before. Again, I think Alabama wins this game. I think we're going to sleep by halftime because it's going to be a 28-7, 28-10 game at halftime.
I agree with you, man. If this gets to be anything outside of what you just said, it's going to be, I'll be surprised.
And I know we have a lot of Ohio State listeners, so
we do. And there's no disrespect to you.
And screenshots and
Ohio State's a good team. They're a good team. Don't get me wrong. You just didn't deserve to be there.
Right.
You didn't deserve to be in the college playoff because of you contributed nothing in 2020 or 2020. Like, you didn't do anything. So I don't know. I think it's going to be a huge shootout, man. I really do. For whatever, because there's a lot of young DBs on the back end for Alabama.
There is. They have now played 12, 13 games. Here's where you start to see that. Now they're, sophomores, juniors, seniors. That age start to show that seasonality of them playing these many games start to show up at these type of moments because now they have the games under their belts. They've been in the system for a while. How does Ohio State win the game? If Matt Jones doesn't show up, if someone gets COVID last minute, I mean, that's the only way I think.
Special teams, you win the special teams, you can help. You can give yourself
it's Alabama, man. If there's anything they're going to coach really well with special teams.
You got running backs hurdling grown people at 6'2", hurdling people. You got Devontae Smith that is as a freshman, is a smooth wide receiver when he runs his route. He is smooth. Then you got the bully. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. Let me be completely honest with you. If it comes down to special teams, Ohio State might win it.
Well, good thing it's not going to. It's gonna be a blowout.
I hope so. Because you better not keep it close with Ohio State. You better not keep it close.
Listen, Ohio cannot have this many victories. The Browns already won. Take your win.
I can't have Calvin Tippett.
Yeah, and Haley going at it.
Oh my God. Oh my God. It was absurd. These are two people that never met each other.
Oh yeah, but they joined forces.
Morning. They inboxed me, the two of them. I wasn't reading none of your shit. Then they have their children inbox. I was like, that's disrespectful. But I don't know, man. Ohio State's gonna put up a big fight. I really think they're gonna throw the ball around, man. Because I don't think Ohio State has that great of a running game.
I don't think so either.
The ball
Someone's gonna do okay.
Yeah.
But Alabama says we're gonna take away what you think you do well, which is run the ball. We're gonna make Justin Fields throw the ball. He's not gonna be very mobile. We're gonna blitz him and come after him, play man-to-man coverage, and make him win the game.
God, if he takes another shot, bro.
Ooh.
If he has another shot,
not make the whole game.
Right. If he takes another shot, you got to go look for a freaking donor to give him a new kidneys and liver from the Clemson hit because that dude is bruised up. He walked off the plane brittle. Like
he's on borrowed time already.
Oh boy! And get your popcorn ready because it's gonna be amazing.
Oh yeah,
amazing, man. But George, listen, man, that's our hour right there, man. I know you can see the time clicking down, man. That went by pretty quick.
It's never long enough. It's always too fast.
It really is. And where have I heard? I think she said that. Yeah, I think she said something like that. But
yeah, something like that.
Again, bro, I love doing these with you. Please, everybody, be safe. It's 2021. Let's not storm anything else. Let's just remember we were supposed to go into this year quiet, not touching anything, just like you would.
Or anyone.
Yeah, exactly. Just like when you go to the store with your mom. You know what I mean? Get in here. Don't touch nothing. Don't ask for nothing. Just get in, and we're going to get out of the store. So let's just get in 2021, right? Because right now it's my free
shaky.
subscription is running low here, and I'm getting kind of scared. But wear your mask, protect each other, and George, we'll do this again real soon, man.
Absolutely. Again, stay tuned this week. We're dropping our first coaches podcast. For you coaches out there, we're going to drop our first one this week. That way we can get that going. Again, join the debate on our Facebook group on the clock sports talk. Visit our website, otcsportstalk.com. Send us an email on the clock 20 at gmail.com. Until next time, you're on the clock.